back again, and I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. Last week we did not session as a group. However, we did session in several small groups, broken apart, and no time has passed since our last session. It's gone. The sun has gone down on the same evening, and the moon has come up, and your companion, Willow, the Drow Druid, has slipped into the inn and up to her room overnight as we slumbered. And we will start bright and early the very next morning. And everybody roll a percentile die.
25 for Myrin.
59 for Nars.
84 for Thardin.
98, Willow.
Willow is the first to enter the tavern the very next morning. And it is about 8 in the morning, and you come downstairs to see half the tables on the floor full. The booth where we usually sit is empty, and Toblin Stonehill is behind the bar cleaning a glass.
All right.
Willow, what do you do?
I'll walk up to the bar. Good morning.
Young Willow. Excellent to see you. When did you make it back in?
It was pretty late.
Your friends are very worried about you. What can I get you this morning?
You know what? I think I'll just, do you have any coffee?
Why, of course, we'll bring some right over to the booth there. If you'd like to go, sit down.
All right.
We'll bring you right around.
Thank you.
And as she sits down, the rest of our party come downstairs.
Hey, guys.
You been, lass? And Thardin runs up and gives her a hug. Where have you been?
Hi, I'm
We've
sorry.
been wanting a little bit about you.
I'm sorry. I needed to go take care of some personal business. I was a little embarrassed about it, and I was afraid to say anything to anyone. I didn't want you guys to worry. I guess that kind of backfired. I'm sorry about that.
You never should go alone like that again. You gotta promise me. That's dangerous.
It's all good. I learned my lesson. I got my ass kicked, but I'm here and I'm okay.
Okay, Cass.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We killed them.
Ah. All right.
As Myrin is the last one to make it down the stairs, he's takes gentle steps as he normally does, but as he rounds the corner around to see Willow,
No one hears him coming. No one hears him coming.
Nobody ever hears him coming. But as I round it, grab the banister and look around, and as I catch Willow in my eyes, like this instant relief just falls over me. And I wouldn't say much, but as I approach, Willow probably could just see it in my eyes. The relief, like it's I'm showing.
Hey.
Probably a
I'm
glimmering
sorry.
only other elves could pick up on.
And as I walk up, I just put my hand on her shoulder and like just give her a slight nod.
I'll just hug you real tight.
The hug, as he grasps, is kind of apprehensive, and then ends up just bringing his hands around. He just doesn't hug. He doesn't hug people much. So.
Yeah. Sorry.
At that time, the innkeep comes by with Willow's coffee, sets it down in front of her, and sets down a letter addressed to Nars next to him. And he asks you, "Where have you been while we were parted? We were very worried. Everybody here was worried about you, about your whereabouts. Where have you been?"
I got sick off of something I ate, and I had to go off into the forest and try to find try to find the ingredients for a cure to it. And I kind of got tied up with some orcs while I was out there. And I met another elf. And he definitely saved my ass. Like, I would have been clobbered. And he took me back to his tribe. And they are under the same druidic circle that I am. And it was
Nasty business, those orcs out in the woods.
Yeah.
I wish somebody could take care of them once and for all. How many did you kill?
Oh my gosh. I'd say somewhere around 10, give or take.
Good show. Good show.
I had help.
A druid circle, you say?
Mm-hmm. And I believe she was the leader of this circle. She said that they have been having trouble in that area with orcs for a time. One of their members was kidnapped, and so I went and helped them get her back.
Nasty business, those orcs. And he takes his leave of you.
So that's where I've been. And hi, Nars.
Nars smiles a grin, and it's almost kind of awkward because half of his mustache just goes to one of his cheeks. And he walks up to you and says, "I'm glad you're safe."
Thank you. And I'll give him a hug too, because, warm fuzzies.
Nars, where have you been all this time?
Working on some alchemical stuff. I have a notebook. I don't know if you've seen it. Belongs to my father and my mother. And there are quite a few recipes in here I'm trying to perfect.
What are you gonna cook for us?
Food, Master Dwarf. Not food.
That's what I like. I'd like, you know what I'd like that they don't have in this tavern? I'd like them to bring in a nice big piece of mutton. I've been missing that. In braised in ale, in some nice potatoes. Yeah.
Toblin happens by the table and says, but sir, one day is the mutton day here in the inn. If you happen to be around, we do have a very tasty fried mutton that you did sample on your first night here. Just to remind you. And then he...
But you haven't brought it back since the first night. That's why I'm looking for more.
He says he'd like more.
More?
Oh my god.
More.
You read my mind.
I'm one
The
dwarf
short
that
dwarf
can eat.
says he'd like some more? Well then, we'll have to make the next night your seat with us here in the Stonehill Tavern mutton night, just for you, whatever day it falls on.
Well, that's good because we are heroes of Vandalin. We should have a little consideration here.
Very good, sir. We'll just have the sheeps on hand ready to slaughter.
Aye.
And he goes back behind the bar and tends to some other business.
He's a good lad. He listened to what I had to say.
He's been around for quite some time. He's probably used to dwarfs.
I wonder if he'd like any help in the kitchen. I'm not a very good cook. I should probably.
So your parents left you these recipes.
Yes.
It sounds interesting. What, besides cooking, can you make some of those special magic things that you do?
There are some basic potions that I can work on, but I am more interested in the later works of my father before he passed. I can't quite tell you what they're about yet, I will.
Is it in cuisine or is it?
We are not cookers. We are not bakers. We are alchemists and wood carvers. That is my family heritage.
I carved wood one time. I chopped a tree down. That was the closest I got. Carving wood.
Well, you are pretty talented with your stonework, so.
Yeah, yes, I am a stone mason. By trade.
But
And the
I
baker.
will tell you now, I will have something very interesting prepared for you all very soon.
Look forward to it. Most of your infusions have been very favorable in travels for me, so I cannot thank you enough.
You're
I
welcome.
agree with that.
I'm hoping to get Willow something next.
Oh, thank you.
I'm hoping
Feel
to
like
see
that.
what Willow does with one of your infusions next.
Hopefully she doesn't run off with it. And I give her a
Yeah.
nudge.
Would you possibly be able to infuse my staff? Is my
In due,
this is my
in
time.
due time, I have to concentrate in order to be able to, well, not concentrate, wrong word choice, but I have to limit my capabilities right now.
Okay.
Are your infusions set for one item at a time?
I can infuse up to 2 items right now.
I see.
So I've done the chainmail on Thardin, and I've done the bow that you possess.
Give it a good tap.
You hear a clumping of boots on heavy boots on the tavern stair, and you see Don John. And he comes down, and he saunters over to the bar and is having words with Tobin at the moment.
I see our friend has arrived.
Don John.
Ah, Don John.
We spent some time with him last night, did we not, Thardin?
He's a good old lad, yes.
It was pleasurable.
What did he say to you? Where did he take you?
The man can do anything, as far as I know. He has done a lot in his life.
We drank quite a bit. I'm a bit hazy. It escapes me.
An elf
That we
drunk.
Basically, the session we had last week was all Don John and these two sitting in the tavern after hours.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to admit to any of the dwarves in here. And Thardin looks around.
Roll perception.
Uh-oh.
A 3.
You don't see any other dwarfs.
I drank elven wine. Can you believe that?
Heresy.
A dwarf drinking elven wine. Myrin had me do it. And I
think
did. And let me tell you, it was pretty good.
I think he enjoyed it.
Oh,
And I think
no
that
other dwarves know.
And I think that the mixture of spirits is what caused me to have such issue with my memory.
We mixed cultures.
It was
Nothing wrong
pleasurable.
with that.
It was-
Being
it
well
was-
versed in more than one culture.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I was okay with that.
It was still pleasurable, and I think that if anything, I've gained a bit more respect and trust for this Don John, and I look forward
Me
to
too.
seeing what progresses with his involvement here.
So you vouch for me with the party there, Mr. Myrin?
John.
Thank you, son.
Ha ha! There he is, friend.
I give him a nod.
I see your companion made it back.
Hi.
You must be Willow.
Yeah, I can't recall if we've met, have we?
We have not, my dear lady,
Okay.
but it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Don John Raskin.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
From what the guys have said, you're a real stand-up guy. I look forward to getting to know you.
And I as well. We will be traveling companions today, a little bit later on. And you guys are going to get me to the mine?
Oh yes, we'll get you to the mine. We'll get you there safely.
Hopefully we won't have to do any, sword swinging.
Sure, you can handle yourself, but you got me sword. I'll help you.
We'll take care of whatever comes our way. Excuse me for a moment. He goes back over to the bar.
Is the merchant still in town? I look out the window.
You see lots of colored tents and some activity starting to bustle outside near the Merchant's Fair, which is set up in the town square. Actually, yeah, the windows of this inn actually do look out onto the place where they're all set up. So you can see that they are still in town and they're opening up their shops outside.
Do you care for some shopping? I believe we owe Willow some money, some gold.
You do?
I believe so.
Speaking of gold, seems we have we're running towards the end of our stay at the inn. Should we discuss what we are going to do past that point?
Oh, I have the perfect idea. I'm gonna get in my bag. I'm gonna pull out the mushrooms
Myrin puts his
you
hand on
to
his
save
head.
me, and I'm gonna throw it on the table.
Myrin has come back to the party steeped with some hallucinogenic mushrooms, which she participated in with her druid circle in a secret vision rite.
How will that provide us cover?
Will this help?
Just saying, maybe if we expand our minds a little bit, we'll have lots of different ideas.
That thought scares the hell out of me.
I wonder if I wonder if I expand my mind, will it mix well with the ale and the elvish wine?
Myrin goes ahead and just grabs like what would be his portion, and just grabs it and just puts it in a pocket on his.
I brought enough to share, so you all get a little bit.
These are a species that she has only just been introduced to the day before, the 2 nights before, the first night that you were without her.
Yeah.
I guess the one night that you were without her, she's never taken this species, and she has like no tolerance built up to it, so it's more intense than she'd ever tripped before.
This isn't something that Myrin is familiar with, but he's heard stories. So.
How much is on the table?
Enough for everybody in the party to get off really, really hard.
I'm looking over at Nars though, like mine is like spinning like.
I definitely will not be eating this, but I take a handful
No.
and I put it into my alchemical kit.
Where's the fun in that?
Nars, I imagine that this might create something interesting.
Nars is gonna be our babysitter.
I might have an idea for Willow's
We
next
might
gift.
have a creation in thought, so interested to see what that comes.
Well, yes, we may have to discuss at some point where we're gonna stay.
Nars is. How do you feel about your residence?
Like I said before, there isn't much to stay in. It's rather ran down.
Okay.
Well, then maybe we better just stay here at the inn for a little longer.
Well, we will be gone for a couple of days,
Yes.
so it's just a matter of whether we want to put down our tab for that.
Your
So-
tab is paid up.
As
Our tab is paid up, but our future tab,
Mhm.
if we stay,
well, don't I think we
Check out
have?
the day you're settled.
Yeah.
Speaking as a DM,
Mhm.
this is we've gone over this.
Yes. So, Myrin is comfortable. He lives life on the road. So, I probably already had I keep my stuff packed. So the room that I had residency in, little was touched. If the person that was coming back to clean it would probably walk back in and be confused because it would be almost like nobody was there. and possibly for like a small spot in the bed where Myrin would sit in trance. But yeah, he has everything sort of packed up and ready to go anyways.
Willow probably would too, just because, I mean, she just got in last night. Like, I'm sorry, Nars,
Yeah.
I didn't cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. I would say, as we're thinking about our rooms, I remembered that I spilled a bunch of chemicals all over the bed, and there are empty vials on the ground, and I did not clean any part of it.
Like,
And I just smiled to myself, because I will not be going to clean it.
I imagine that Nars is like, it's
So
like
Nars is not checking out. Am I to be correct in this assumption?
it's kind
You don't all.
What?
You don't. You can all make your own decisions as to what to do, whether you check out or not.
I just like the idea that Nars like has a place here, and like it's like kind of getting like a hotel in your own town.
A staycation.
It's
Exactly.
a staycation, yeah. You're like, I ain't leaving. This is nicer than my house.
I will put down my tab for the stay.
So, I can't remember if you were here when we did settle up in the last session, but Toblin's basically charging you by the 10-day. So you are good to go if you want to check out tonight, or if you're staying, he'll bill you at the end of this 10-day whenever he sees you next. He knows you're good for it. You've been living here for quite a while.
I would want to say
You and
that
Toblin have an understanding, so you know.
we would have some trust built up with them by now.
For the heroes of
I
Phandalin,
would
they are
just
going to
imagine.
extend credit.
I would just imagine.
Yeah, you're good. You're good to. The rooms are not something we should sweat, but it sounds like Nars is quite comfortable and not ready to go anywhere. Everybody else, I think, is worried about their purse.
I would probably just be going over just my belongings, and possibly if I just want to be burdened with the belongings more, so I might opt to leave some stuff in the room rather than adventure with everything.
How much is it, a 10-day stay?
It's 5 gold a person.
Okay.
It's basically 5 silver a night. So 5 times 10 silvers is 50 silvers, which translates to 5 gold.
How long do we estimate the escorting of Don John will take? Is that a day or two?
It should take you no more than 2 days. The mine is only 15 miles from Phandalin, so you're planning right now to take part in the Merchant's Fair, and after that, you'll make it to the mine after you set out. After you leave the fair in town, you'll make it before sunset. So you probably just have to long rest once before you come back to Phandalin, if you choose to return to Phandalin from there.
Right.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep staying in the inn. Just looking at my tab and everything. Like,
What we had discussed, we had like 3 missions in that area?
So no, we have one mission to the east towards the mine of Phandalin. Then we have a mission towards Leyland, which is the west, like almost the opposite direction. So, and that is to find Axholm.
Axholm is very close to Lelion. It's basically smack dab in between Nomengard and Lelion, where
Right.
you're very familiar with Nomengard. It's just a little bit to the west in that same range.
So that journey will take us longer than the mine. That is for sure.
And then you have Dragon Barrow, which will take you pretty far north.
Right. So we are in all opposite directions. But if we pay for a 10-day stay, we at least reserve our rooms.
Right.
yeah.
Obviously, we should go east, north, and then west. If we are.
I
Is
think I'll pay for the 10 days.
Obviously.
we don't. I mean, not that Myrin, the coin really doesn't I mean, he doesn't mind his amount that much, but is it?
Right.
Are we like we're I wouldn't say we're rich, but I kind of feel like we're rich. Like Myrin hasn't had money like this, so you know.
The party is carrying some pretty fat cash for their socioeconomic class that they are all in.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess at that rate, it doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, the bell kind of put us over the top as far as economic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we'll see how broke we are when we go to these merchant stands.
This is true. This is true.
Actually,
I suppose I should look.
we had Myrin and I had went to the.
You've already been?
No. We
Nobody
just,
has been yet.
No. We walked past it. We didn't
We walked
actually.
past it,
Yeah,
right.
we didn't go into it.
That's right. We walked past it. We
Don
went to-
John happens by the table and says, "We did take a stroll last night. We took a stroll around Thardin. These two are not from here, and I have not been here many years, and we just wanted to look around a little bit."
Don John,
Good walking weather.
Yeah.
why do you need to go to this mine?
The business consortium that owns this mine hired me to go be the new overseer. They've had some productivity problems, and I intend to correct that.
So you believe there are workers in this mine?
I think so. They might have got a little lazy, and they need me to kind of light a fire under their ass.
Interesting. I don't know about you all, but I'm ready to go and see what they have outside.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yes.
As you finish up your breakfast plates and cups and saucers, the girls come and hastily bust your booth as soon as you get up, but it doesn't look like anybody is trying to go and sit in it. And the party would then make their way outside.
Is the can we see the like from the inn? Can we see it? The fair.
From the inn, can you see
the fair. The fair.
Oh yes. You would step out the front doors of the inn. You see it there in the map, Stonehill Inn, and you see the Shrine of Luck, and that big open town square there is what you would be looking at. And that is where you see all of the colorful tints.
Is there a
Dude.
place where I can buy gemstones?
Funny you should ask. Let me look at my notes here, and I've got all of this sketched out. You would step outside, and you would see the back of a grayish silver tint. And if the party chose to go and move and stand by the Shrine of Luck, they could look around in a horseshoe sort of array of tints, and that gray one closest to you there, that's kind of like right in front of the front door of the Stonehill, you see a sign on it that says Merc in Tools. And going counterclockwise from there, you see a gold and silver, really nice cloth, and it's obviously a jeweler. That's where you would go to buy and trade jewels or her crafted jewelry. You see a blonde woman, a blonde human, she's busy setting out some new merchandise to replace the empty places where old merchandise that people have now purchased are now standing. And then if you look on around, you see an herbalist tent, you see a clothier with lots of like winter fur cloaks and warm looking garb hanging on racks. And next to that, you see a red and black tent And obviously, this is the weaponsmith. There's a little portable smithy outside with an anvil and bellows, and it looks like he can do work right there, right out the back of his tent on your weapon. And then finally, to the north of that, and just sort of south of Sister Garrely's, you see a purple and black tent with a door. You can't really see inside, but the sign over it says Max Oddities.
You said a herbalist tent?
Yes.
I will go there when I have time. Whenever we get near that area.
Is this where we would possibly split up and we're just kind of perusing the fair?
You said an
Yeah,
obvious
if you
tent, too.
wanted to, the town square is not that big.
that large, yeah.
You would all be within view of each other.
Of each other. That's what I was saying. Even if we split
go-
up, we're not apart. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So we all might just be able to choose the things that we're looking for.
You could all visit all of the shops together or individually.
Sure. I mean, we might as well for traveling's sake.
I would say that we should go to that Odyssey shop first.
It did
what
interest
the
me, so who knows what we'll find there.
So Nars and Myrin and the rest of the party, what are they doing? Tagging along? Everybody.
Yeah, I think we'll tag along.
Everybody in the party steps over to the west and pops through the door of the big purplish blue indigo tent, and inside it is very warmly lit, not too bright, and you see this red dragonborn in a black cloak. And he greets you with a nod. You see all sorts of books and curios and lamps. A lot of it is similar to stuff that you would see in a museum or a very old shop.
Good morning, sir.
What can I do for you all?
I am curious as to what your most interesting items are.
What do you have in mind, son?
Honestly, I have nothing in mind. I'm just kind of perusing.
He takes one look at you. His yellowish dragonborn eyes seem to pierce right into your soul, Nars. And you feel like he definitely notices somewhat of a kinship there in looking in your eyes. And
Smile back.
he says, would it be objects of the magical variety that you're interested in?
Aye. Very much so.
Well, in that case, he bends down under his counter, brings up a wooden case. It's a ring case, and he opens it up, and you see some rings of different qualities, and then he points at one particular area on the left, and he says, "These 4 rings are magic rings. One of them is a ring of feather falling. This one here with the opalescent pearl is a ring of cold resistance. I have a ring of swimming and a ring of waterworking, these 2 ones with the blue gemstones." And then he sets that down and he pulls out a bag of holding.
Ooh.
I have this. These are the 5 magic items of which I carry right now. Nobody on the circuit has been wealthy enough to purchase any of these. I did have some smaller wonderment items, if you will. You know, I had a few wands that were purely illusionist only. They didn't actually pose any threat or
Kind of
danger to novelty magic. Yes, illusionist magic. I've sold all of those. This is what I have left. Do any of these things interest you, sir?
Great deal. How much for the ring of cold resistance?
A lot of patrons ask that question. These times, especially in this realm, what with the white dragon rumors running about, a lot of people would like to get their hands on this. I'll take 700 gold for it. Or I will barter for it. I would be open to bartering for it as well.
700 gold. You are quite the upcharger.
This is a very rare piece.
In Draconic, I say to him, maybe rare in these parts.
This ring is rare all over the land, son.
And still speaking in Draconic, I say, me and my friends here are the group that are intended with the task of defeating that dragon. And if I gather, you are a traveling merchant group, are you not?
I do travel a bit. I spend at least a third of the year on the road, so.
Right. And we've already run into the dragon twice now. So, would you care to wager that it will probably ambush your rather large and colorful caravan as you're going down the road?
That or the orcs.
If it does, I could just put on the ring now, can't I?
Aye, but are you capable of fighting it to the death?
Oh. I don't know if I'm capable of fighting it to the death.
That ring is of great interest to me.
But I know I'm capable of escaping it.
You might be. You look rather lean. I do not have 700 gold, so I cannot afford that. But what I do have, what I can afford, is 450 gold.
Well, I did say I was open to bartering. Oftentimes, I can make more money with lesser known or lesser powered magic items. Might you have anything that you're willing to trade? Is also a magic item.
I whip out the staff and I tap it on the ground. And a raven is heard.
And a raven?
Yep.
He looks at it. He seems unimpressed.
Come on now. You know you could pawn this off on some unfortunate lot.
I can, but I cannot make any money trading you the ring of cold resistance for the staff of bird calls. Are you kidding me? I could take it and trade with anything else, or I can cut you a deal on the gold. What do you have anything else you don't? Really
I have a cloak of billowing.
Are you wearing that cloak?
I do, and I use it as I say.
You make it billow dramatically as a bonus action?
Mm-hmm.
His eyes light up at that.
Now imagine selling the cloak and the staff together. You cannot tell me that you cannot pawn that off on some person looking to be intimidating.
Well, you do have a point, son. But I think you need to sweeten the pot just a little bit more.
Ah.
If only you had a hat to go with the robe.
You see right through me, my friend.
He gives you a knowing look.
Since the hat would not be tied closed, it'd be kind of hanging off my back. I'd whip it out and put it on the table.
What does it look like again? It's like one of those conical wizard hats with stars and moons on it.
Exactly.
And it
It's,
just so happens to really complement the color of that red cloak with blue trim.
Now you have a full set.
So he looks at the 3 items and slowly starts to nod his head. Yes, I think we can do business here. I think straight across the ring for these 3 items.
And I get to keep my gold.
Yes, I can make far more than the 700 selling these 3 items.
Oh, such a generous dragon. All right.
You would know something about that now, wouldn't you, lad?
Suppose I would.
And he takes the items off the table and he hands you the Ring of Cold Resistance. It's got a opalescent pearl in it. In a nice white gold setting, 2 little diamonds.
I smile at him and I give him a customary Dragonborn farewell.
Had anybody in the party heard him speak Draconic yet?
I don't believe so.
No, this is the first time.
I believe that's the first time too.
Yeah.
Just kind of sounds like the music I listen to, so I just thought they were singing to each other.
Heavy metal in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Ring of Cold Resistance.
That's correct.
I am elated, and I step back and put the ring on.
Oh. Does it work?
I will find out, and I put my spectacles on and I go sit outside on the dirt.
Do you cast Identify too?
I do have a question about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
The pearl I got was 300 gold worth. How much was it?
That's a 200 gold piece.
And
Black
it doesn't consume it, right? I just have to have it in my possession.
Correct.
Okay. So yes, I would. I probably would have done that beforehand. I just didn't know.
So you're casting Identify?
Yes, to make sure that it is a legit item.
And it is. You cast that spell, the magic starts to swirl through your spectacles and all over the item that you just bought. And as you look at the Ring of Cold Resistance, guaranteeing its authenticity with this spell, you also go into your bag and pull out any other unidentified magic item you might have.
I don't think I have any other.
You guys probably already figured out the rod, the immovable rod, is what the rod was, and you have a bag of dust which you recovered from the woodland manse.
Right. Yes.
You pull that out, and you can immediately tell with the spell. You don't know how you could have missed it before, but you can tell that is a bag of dust of disappearance, enough for 1 dose.
Oh my lord. All right.
I think that's the only other item I can remember that you didn't know what it was. But if there's anything else, we'll just say that it was this session, you've identified it, and if you have any questions, just ask me what's on it. I think you have full knowledge of your magic items that you have collected heretofore.
Okay. And I changed my character sheet, just so you know.
Thank you.
Hey DM, was this the shop where I could get gemstones, or was that a different one?
You see that he's got a few little gemstones in his case. He's got a piece of lapis lazuli. He's got some onyx, of course, and he has some obsidian, like a big enough piece of obsidian for flaking. You could nap it if you knew what you're doing. But he doesn't have very much in the way of jewelers. There is a jeweler tent that would more specialize.
Is this obsidian kind of glass looking,
Yes.
almost like gemstone looking?
Yes, it's black volcanic glass.
Oh, how pretty. How big is it?
About the size of your fist.
Oh, Jesus, that's gigantic. I'm looking for something more kind of jewel-like, like jeweler tools, like wire wrapping and
Yes, my
So-
dear.
so-
Yes,
something
my
like
dear.
that.
Yes, my dear. Yes, my dear. Maxwell Bracken says, you will want to go and see Doll. She will have more what you are looking for in terms of jewels. And he
Awesome.
motions outside to the green and yellow jeweler's tent.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your help.
Anytime for the heroes of Phandalin, young Willow.
Thank you. Do you guys want to go check out that other tent with me, or do you guys want to poke around here for a little bit?
Could I ask you again what you have?
As far as magic items are concerned, my friend.
Yes.
Yes, I have this bag of holding, and I have a ring of feather falling. And he points to the ring in the tray. And I have this ring of swimming and this ring of water walking.
And how much would they all be? Each individual.
I can do the ring of swimming for 100 gold, as well as the ring of water walking. I will sell this ring of feather falling for 300 gold.
And what about the bag?
The bag of holding, I will take 500 gold piece.
As he said, the ring of feather falling, Myrin steps behind Thardin and puts his hand on his shoulder and kind of looks over at the tray. He didn't say anything though.
You see some really expensive looking jewelry.
Myrin hasn't buy things for himself, you know. So like it's like even thinking about this is like a, you know, he feels super guilty even thinking about it.
The Dragonborn sees the glee in the wood elf's eye, and he acknowledges you and lets you know that it's okay to treat yourself once in a while.
I think your most useful item is the bag.
Yeah, the bag is pretty cool.
500? Isn't that kind of steep?
A rare piece, my friend. You won't find one from here to Neverwinter.
It is a rare item.
Just as a note, I would look over all the other items, just so my friends don't get had by this salesman.
Oh yeah, you've cast detect magic, and you can see that they're all legit, and identify. You can see that they're all the real deal.
I would say the bag and the ring of featherfall are probably the most important things.
So you'll be taking those items with you?
Well, that is up to my dwarf and my elven friend.
So you'll be taking the ring of the bag with you?
I get like choked
That'll
up.
be 800 gold.
We can't afford this. I don't need anything. I'm sorry.
A little
Please put the ring back.
If you have any items of lesser enchantment you'd like to trade, I could take some. Have as many items as your friend did. Right? We could.
You know, something we could do, if we all chipped in on that bag of holding, that would benefit all of us. That could be a thing.
Yeah, that would be a party.
Very astute, young Drow.
How much is the ring of featherfall?
He said he would do the ring of feather falling for 300 gold.
300
The other two
for-
rings are 100 apiece.
Myrin, how much money do you have on you?
I do not have much, and I know that our collective purse was getting low, so I'm all for the bag. I do not need niceties.
Excuse me, aren't you the heroes of Phandalin that solved the mystery of the Connieberry gold?
We may be referred to as that sometimes.
I have been in town a few days now, and I've heard about you four.
Aye, what have you heard about us?
That you've solved the legend of the Connieberry gold, my friend Dwarf. Everyone knows that legend. You must be flush with cash.
Rather greedy.
Thardin leans over to Myrin.
I don't trust this guy. And I never even seen what a dragon person. This is
I mean, can we get like a perception on the if he's trying to con us or not?
Yes,
Is there
you can
anything-
roll for perception, please. Anybody that wants.
Sight check.
Insight.
Oh shit!
I roll.
Yeah. Whatever your roll was, apply that to insight. I'm sorry.
Oh, cool.
After Dwarf has a
Thank you for
21.
calling that.
All
Oh,
right.
dang.
Not that this is like super necessary, but
Ah.
I rolled an 18.
I did roll a 20 and I don't have 0 bonus. So
You can tell that Maxity Bracken has his eyes are dazzling with gold that he thinks that you might have, but his merchandise is legit and he only wants to sell it to you.
did he see us the hero side of that? Was he saying that in some sort of like a lore, like he thought that was cool, or
Yes.
Okay.
He's impressed. He's impressed with the rumors that he's heard, and he's only taking them at face value. He can tell there's a ring of truth there, and he's impressed with your adventuring quality.
Impressed with us, or he thinks we're money bags walking in the door?
He thinks you guys might have the money to spend on his wares. He thinks that between the four of you, you could clean him out of all of the magic
Okay.
devices, magical items that he currently carries, and he will gladly sell all of it to you.
yeah.
But
But are we trying to break the bank on one merchant? I don't think so.
There's several other merchants, right? In this.
We have
you go and see what the others have to offer. If you still want the rings, I'll be here another day or two.
we have adventures to fund, and it is not easy.
I think, like my friend Willow here said, the bag would be very important to us, but not at that price. I think you can come down a little.
Is there anything that we can do for you or bring you?
He looks at you as if you might have a magical item to help sweeten the deal and bring down the gold number.
Well, I look down at my boots and I'm like,
No.
I might even have an audible laugh.
That you said? You have a wand of what?
Pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics, you say? Can I see it?
Hand it to him.
Takes it from you. He looks at it. He can tell that it's not been one charge expended on this thing, and it's a full value. And he says, I'll bring the price down to 300 gold for the bag of clothing and the load.
I'm
I'll
not-
throw in this.
And I take the clockwork amulet off my neck.
How about you add that into the price?
What does the clockwork amulet do?
It might be good for one of you guys. I think it's
Hold on.
surpassed me.
Wait a second.
The idea
Wait.
of giving away anything clockwork to Nars does not.
Like
So,
as soon as like Thardin says it, Nars looks over at him. What?
When you make an attack roll wearing the amulet, you can forego rolling a d20 to get a 10 on your die. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn.
Like a guaranteed hit, 10 plus your mod on an attack.
When you make an attack roll wearing the amulet, you forego rolling. Yeah, you get a 10.
10 plus your
attack.
mod.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
like for me, I would get.
Wow.
For me,
You've never
I
even
get-
used this thing.
I haven't even used it, but I
Yeah.
would get a 16.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I haven't
Pretty
used
good.
wand. So.
16 get a lot of things at our level.
16's not bad. Probably can hit mostly everything.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Nars.
I was gonna say the ring is 300. You said.
The ring of Featherfall will cost you 300. That's for
Okay.
At what point do we get a quantity break?
I was going to say, where did you come from, merchant?
I've traveled all over Faerun.
Where did you last come from?
I was in Neverwinter.
You were in Neverwinter and you couldn't sell any of these goods?
When were you in Neverwinter?
3 days ago. We were not there very long. It was a low turnout in numbers for that fest.
So, what I was going to say is, you will not sell your goods in Findelen if we do not buy them. You will not sell them in Leyland. You will not sell them to the east. So your options are, you sell them to us for a discounted rate together, or you don't sell them at all.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah,
All right.
persuasion.
I think it's not too bad. Not my best roll, but in Dragonborn is an advantage.
Speak Dragon.
A draconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you speak Draconic. He trusts you more than the others. Yeah, I'll give you advantage.
Hell yeah. 22.
I'll give you all 3 rings for 400 gold and the wand.
How about the bag of holding, the ring of Featherfall for 500 gold with the wand?
Done.
Okay.
I had my hand on the pole of collapsing the whole time, not wanting to pull it out.
So I will pay up the upfront costs. I'll give all 500 gold, and then I will talk to the party later about it.
Did you say a pole of
You
collapsing?
didn't say the character.
That was not verbal.
You did not
thought
give
I
up that pole.
heard something.
Player said that. Player said that.
I was mistaken, my good friend Elf. I thought I heard you say something about a pole of collapsing.
You probably saw
Oh,
his
no,
hand.
that was me making a really dirty joke.
I would
That was
trade
all.
this ring of swimming straight across for a pole of collapsing.
We're not getting the ring of swimming unless you want to trade that pole, because I'm not buying that right now. So it's up to you, Myrin.
I can swim.
Yeah, I don't really think we need it, but so 500
He
gold.
holds this ring. This is very beautiful sapphire gem in it, and it glints in what little light is in this place. And he says, "With this ring, you'll have a 30-foot swimming speed, able to breathe underwater."
I reach a finger forward and I touch it, and then it repeats in his voice, 30-foot swimming speed over and over again.
He snaps his
Sales.
finger, spells your silly.
And you can breathe underwater, huh?
Salesman.
Anyway, I give him the 500 gold for those 2 items.
Okay. And
I toss
he hands you
Myrin
the bag of holding, and what else was it? The ring of
Featherfall.
feather falling. Yeah, he hands you those, and he bids you good luck with those items.
All right. I toss Myrin the ring of Featherfall, and I toss Willow the bag of holding.
Oh, thank you. Just let me know how much I owe you, okay?
This
I'll figure it out back at the inn.
seems like we've exhausted our funds.
I exhausted my funds. But
Yeah.
Yes, I keep my amulet then.
I'll give you my axe and my armor.
Seems we're indebted to Nars now.
Yes, we are. Well, we still have other shops to go visit. Willow
Yes.
wanted to go look at the gem shop.
Yeah, are you guys interested in that at all, or should I just run that errand real fast?
I'd like
go
to
with
see
you.
what they have.
Cool. I guess we'll head on over there.
May
I
as well all travel.
Maybe I'll put a gem in my shield or something. Well,
The entire party then will leave Max's hut, his tent, and they will walk straight across the town square.
Thardin
Yeah,
turns
where
back
they
to look at
find-
Max.
Sorry?
Thardin turns back to look at Max. And it kind of glares at him
Yeah.
as he walks out.
Max City Bracken tips his hood to you as you walk straight across the festival. There are a couple of bards on on a little stage platform in the middle of the town square, and you pass by them, and they nod at you and motion to the hat they have sitting on the stage, and you find your way into Vida Jewelry. and there's a human woman with blonde hair, a very beautiful woman. She's got necklaces and earrings pierced all down her ears, and she gives you a warm smile.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you have any loose gemstones?
Oh yes, ma'am.
All right, I have a small list. I need obsidian, citrine, aventurine, and a rainbow moonstone if you have one.
I happen to have all those.
Awesome. Do you have any wire wrapping tools and wire
I
jewelry?
can sell you some wire and small clippers with which to wrap said wire.
Cool. I would just need basically stuff to make some jewelry with, necklaces and things.
Have you anything to trade?
I have money. If that's okay, if that works for you.
We take gold here, and we also barter if you happen to have any gemstones. And with that, two of you recall that the party just happens to have 10 gemstones that were sent to them from the Dwarven excavation by the Shield Dwarf Archaeological Society.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you wouldn't know this, Willow, because they received a letter from the two dwarves from the excavation with several items inside, which were treasure items that were found in that excavation. There we have it, the letter from Daislin and Norbus.
Nice.
Basically, they sent you 10 gemstones that are worth 10 gold apiece, and a small artifact of Abathor, which is in the shape of a dagger on a chain, like a pendant, a necklace.
Oh, cool.
But you have no idea about this. Thardin and Myrin are the only ones that know about it.
We have that. We have that in our inventory. We collected those.
You have those things. You had 10 gemstones, and they're worth 100 gold apiece. But I think if you are good with your haggling skills, Dull Golden Ring will probably pay more for that.
Well, I think that maybe if
Shouldn't have said that.
if they're in our possession, then we would probably either I or Thardin would have probably pulled them out and handed them to Willow if we heard that.
The dagger, though, is to the evil god, so we might have thought about even destroying it.
What's
that? The dagger.
Say that one more time.
Abathor?
Dagger of Abathor? Yes.
He's evil.
Mhm.
No, it's only an artifact of an evil god. There's no evil attached to it.
Okay.
It's just a piece of jewelry from long ago. And I believe that it was worth 50 gold piece. It'll say in the letter. I'll throw that letter to the Discord chat at some point.
DM, real quick.
Yeah.
You said there was a letter for me on the table. I never asked about it.
I suppose you just put it in your bag and you would open it later.
All right. Well, I would open that up probably sometime sooner than later.
Okay. I don't have a copy of the text, but I can give it to you soon.
Okay.
So, how much would it be for all of these gemstones and tools and the supplies to make the jewelry?
It would be 100 gold, my dear.
All right. And have the guys handed me like the gems?
If we had them split or something, I think that probably me and Thardin would have looked at each other and handed them over to you while they were,
So she would have seen that, and her eyes would have glittered, and she would have offered you to trade straight across for those gemstones, for the gemstones that you want.
Okay, are you guys okay with that, or?
I
Know the value of her gemstones?
yeah,
Her gemstones are worth a little bit less than 100 gold to account for the wire and the tool, but she's doing you a pretty fair deal. You could probably haggle with her, but
is it worth that?
she's offered a straight across deal, gemstones for gemstones.
And I don't mind paying a little. That's.
Oh no, my dear, these will work just fine. I can use these. She looks at all of the gemstones that came out of that dwarven excavation with great glee in her eye. She's not seen specimens like this of those particular minerals, and I can't remember what they were. I don't even know if I ever assigned them
I don't think
any
we knew.
quantification for the from the mineral chart, but she's quite interested in them.
DM is
Ye-
is Nars's identify still up
Yes.
or in detect magic? Would he know if any of the gems that are being exchanged here or the ones we had, do they have any properties to them?
His detect magic spell is not discovering anything magical within the 30 yards.
Okay.
So, would you guys be okay with trading all those gems straight across, or?
Sure.
It's up to you.
Okay.
I don't mind at all.
All right. Well, I've got these, ma'am. Yay.
Yes, my love. Will there be anything else for you today?
I believe that's it.
She's being really, really nice to you, like nicer than any human has ever been to you before.
Yay.
I just grabbed some like random like thing, it was just like gem that was like up on the table, like that's interesting. Just set it back down.
That one's worth 200 gold, love.
All right. I guess I'll put the gems and the jewelry making stuff into my bag.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Did you guys have anything else you need to do here?
Does she
You
have
look
anything
behind
else?
you, you can see the gray tent that says Merkin Tools. There are some prospecting types going in and out of there. You suspect that from what you can see, it's just mining tools and rock breaking tools and digging tools and things that mundane people need.
I'm on the hunt for some grasshoppers, but if I can't find a vendor for something that odd, then I will find it on the road.
You see as you just come out of her gold and silver tent, you see the herbalist tent is just right next door to the south, and beyond him is the clothier, and beyond that is the weaponsmith. And beyond that, around in the circle is Max Oddities, where you were first.
I will stop off at the herbalist tent.
Oh, before you go, can I give you the money I owe you?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm kind of bad at math, so if you just tell me a number, I'll
Well,
give it.
it depends on if we're all pitching in for Myrin's ring.
We don't know how much you owe for that yet, so
Well, it was 300 gold for the bag, and then I haggled the other thing down to 200.
Mhm.
So
And I have
we spent 5 total.
500 total. So I
And
have
swap the Didn't we swap the wand? The wand of pyrotechnics?
Yes,
That's
you
what-
no longer
Okay,
have
that's what
that
I
in your
thought.
inventory.
that's what pulled it the price.
But you
down.
can add a bag
So-
of holding to your inventory because I believe he gave that to you.
I
And
think
And then
so.
the,
we spent 500 G's and we are pitching in on some of it.
So I would
Anyone
say
need me to put anything in the bag of holding?
not yet, but I'm sure there will be.
You can count on that. Willow. You can count on that.
Honestly, if you all gave me 100 gold, it'd be fine.
All right.
well, I will be indebted to you.
I don't mind at all. I'm not a lavish type.
I imagine that our adventures will continue, and I do appreciate it. This seems like it will come in handy.
Hopefully, it'll get you down from some towers and maybe a wall or two.
And maybe protecting you.
True.
Yeah, so we're gonna head to the herbalist.
Everybody wants to go see the herbalist. Is that right?
Mm.
I'm okay with
I think
that.
we're kind of staying together.
You see a little sign over the herbalist tent. It is green and greenish yellow lime sort of color, and it says herbs. And you walk in. It's an open tent, and there are like lots of wooden cases with little glass vials full of dried herbs. And you see a half elf with a green cloak, and he greets you with a nod. Herbert Axana at your service.
Good day, Herbert.
Good day. You must
I
be
am-
Nars. All the townspeople are talking about you for.
Interesting.
They say you're the saviors of Phandalin.
I
That's
don't
true.
much like that reputation. It implies we have money.
I've heard stories about that too.
I am looking for some simple items.
Ah, yes, sir. What would be your pleasure or your poison, as it were?
I have plenty of that. I'm looking for a herbalist kit,
Ah, I have those.
a recipe book for standard potions like healing,
Harder to come by. I'll have to check my stock.
or maybe you could just jot down a simple healing potion for me on a piece of paper, if you are talented in that area.
I do have some potions of healing here on hand. I've got, I believe, 10 left. They go for standard going rate, which I believe is 25 gold. Is it 50 gold or 25? 25 for a healing potion?
It's 25.
Whatever going rate is for them in the book. That's what they
I think
are.
it's 50.
50, yeah. I think it's 50.
I'm actually looking for the recipe.
Don't have that, as he says as he flips through some of his literature. I don't recall having one of those in quite some time.
How many healing potions do you have?
Of 10 on hand. So.
Jesus Christ. I mean, more than.
I'm converting you, lad.
I'm not very religious. And I'm looking for something that'll concentrate this basilisk oil I have. I need to make it stronger, so I need some sort of concentrate.
I think I've got something for you. You need a reagent for the potion that undoes the basilisk stare.
Aye.
He hands you a vial.
Thank you, good sir. How much would the
This
herbalist
one
kit
is-
on that be?
This one is 50 silver.
Thank you. The kit?
The kit is going right from the book.
Oh, the book. Nars pulled out his D&D handbook. All right, well, I'll get back to you on what I pay for it.
Just adjust your character sheet.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to make our way over to the weaponsmith shop and see what they have there.
Will there be anything else, sir?
Not today. Thank you.
I'm curious if you have any grasshoppers or grasshopper legs.
He pulls out a little bitty envelope and opens it up, and there are 5 grasshoppers inside.
That will suffice.
It's very specific.
5 copies, please, sir.
He hands it to you.
He hands you the
Out
envelope.
of a pocket in his near his belt, and then he also pulls out a pouch of gold and hands Nars 20 gold piece, and said, "This is for now. I'll get the rest later."
Thank you.
Hey, Myrin.
You have some more transactions to work. Yes, Willow?
Are you secretly a gecko?
Am I?
I mean, you got grasshopper
I
legs.
do. This is just something that helps me along the way.
That's fair.
I look down at the boots of Elvenkind, and they kind of have like a insect-like appearance almost, and it thinks about it for a second. Scares him a little bit. He might make some like visual modifications to the boots to make them look a little different.
Are there any like little picnic tables or anything outside of the tents? 'Cause-
Yes, there are a few little chairs and tables scattered about near the stage where one could order an ale and sit and watch the band.
Cool. I think I'll do that, and I'm gonna like sit and work on that jewelry. Should I roll something for that?
You don't need to roll anything.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna be working on necklaces.
I'm gonna go with Thardin to the store.
Which store would that be?
The weaponsmith. The weapon salesman, sorry.
Yes.
So Thardin and Nars and Myrin.
Where was Willow going?
Willow's sitting at a table near the stage.
I'm
Sort of a beer garden-esque type table.
go and sit and do arts and crafts for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I need to work on some stuff. I might sit with her and
Cool.
muse.
So you leave the two elves sitting at a beer garden-esque table, and you walk across the town square in front of the stage into the red and black tent, which is open to the air, and you can see lots of wooden racks, in fact, surrounding the other three sides, which are not the entrance of this tent. And there are axes and long swords and short swords and things hanging. Pretty much any weapon you can think of to carry is hanging there, and you see a dark-skinned human, and he nods at you and says, "Hi,
Hi.
looking
how
for
are
some
ya?
weapons? Name's Isigol. They call me Isigol Weaponsmith. What can I do for you?"
What do you have?
"Well, I've got weapons of +1 quality, my friend."
Detect magic. I just want to see if he's being honest. I'm sure they all are.
You detect magic, and you can see that nothing is pinging your magical sense, but you can see that these weapons that are hanging up look really, really, really of nice quality, of +1 quality. They're not magic, but they are of +1 quality, so they give you a +1 to your attack roll and your damage.
Might be a good investment for you, Thardin.
How much would a longsword be?
I'll sell a +1 quality longsword for 350 gold. Also, I'm running a sale right now on silver and weapons.
Myrin, did we, when we took our stroll, did we?
Myrin's in the courtyard
Yeah,
with the
you're
Willow.
not here. You're in the
I could pretend to be Myrin.
I forgot. I thought we went to the silver, or someone was going to silver one of my warhammers.
You talked about silvering a warhammer with Don John Raskin just the
Yeah.
other night. He
Don
told
John.
you about
Yeah,
Isgol's
discussed it.
sale,
Yes.
and he said that he would silver any weapon in under an hour for 50 gold.
So I would, yeah.
This guy here said he would, or
No, Don John told
John,
me
yeah.
that.
Don John?
'Cause he's already been through all of the merchants' tents. Well, what can I do for you then?
So the longsword you're looking for 350.
354 +1 longsword, yes, sir.
How much money you have on you, Thardin? Actually, I pull him in the corner. How much money you have on you, Thardin?
Got about
three. About 380 left. Looks like.
I hand him 100 gold.
think he's charging too much?
I would definitely try to haggle him, but at least you'll have money.
You can't haggle me, son.
I am in the corner, good sir, unless he's got some good hearing.
He
Yes,
does.
he does. So you're saying 350? I'll give you
350 for a
300.
+1 quality weapon, yes, sir.
I'll give you 300.
Hmm.
That's my final offer.
Hmm.
The odds of the deal.
Don't think I can do that.
And we'll leave him. We'll take our business elsewhere.
I can silver that hammer of yours. They do call you Silverhammer, do they not? But you don't have a silver hammer.
My grandfather has a silver hammer, and it's back in Neverwinter at the Silverhammer's bakery, hanging up. It's a tradition.
Well,
My family's rich in history.
I've had pastries from the Silverhammer bakery, and I do say they were the best pastries I've ever tasted in my life. Kudos to your mum and dad. I'll silver any weapon you want in under an hour for 25 gold.
Fine, that's a deal.
I take it you want that hammer?
You can silver my hammer.
Takes your hammer, he swings it around. Oh, I like the balance. All right, come back in an hour.
Now, the question is,
What's the question,
300
Thardin?
300 for a longsword.
300 for a longsword.
25 for the silver hammer. We've got a deal.
Done.
Ah, you're a good lad. Next time you're Neverwinter, I'll make sure my family takes care of you.
Yes. You exchange coin and weapons, and you now have a +1
And I hand him
longsword.
my sword.
He takes your hammer,
And my sword.
hands you a +1 longsword. You hold it in your hand. You can tell the quality is all match. It just feels right, and it's pretty damn sharp, and doesn't seem like it's gonna dull anytime soon.
Very good.
DM.
Yes, sir.
After this, I want to go back to the herbalist shop, and with your permission, I would like to spend $150 on regents. But I have a few things in mind, but I don't know their cost. So I would just like to say that I spent 150, and then I'll tell you later what I bought.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So as you leave as a gold, the weaponsmith, you rejoin the elves at the table, and Nars pops into the herbalist herbs and does some more of his famous wheeling and dealing. And he rejoins you at this point. You see Don John emerge from the Stonehill Inn, and he smiles at the four of you warmly. It's too far away to talk, but he's like, he does this little thing, like, just 1 second. Just 1 second, I'll be ready to go. And he disappears back into the inn.
That was odd.
So, Thardin, I tried one of those dwarven ales finally. It was really good.
You tried a dwarven ale.
I did. I'm not a big ale person, but I really enjoyed it.
Ah, very good, lass. I think I'm going to order another one. Would you like another one?
Oh, I'd love one. Thank you.
I walk.
Toblin actually has a girl with a keg sort of near the entrance, and she's selling ale for the festivities.
Myrin, are you still here? Or did you-
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
You know what? Lass, we'll take 4. Nars will have one when he comes back.
She starts to
So
pour
you
them.
get one.
At that moment, Don John comes around the corner. He's got his own, and he says, "Oh, my friends are."
5, lass. We'll take 5.
He already has one. Don John has one already.
Ah, he can drink another one. Don John can drink with the best.
Don John double fists.
Can I
DM,
give the girl a
Yes.
nice tip
real quick.
as well?
Yes.
I'm going to try to make a single charge of this potion I just sang.
Let me look at it.
See how it says 3 times on there? I want to do it with just 1 time.
You want to brew this?
Aye.
I'll allow it.
All right. Do you want me to roll?
Using the reagents that you've purchased,
It's not that complex of a potion, but
but it consumes all of the reagents you've purchased from Herb.
it would not be that much. But
So how many would you be able to buy with? What did you spend? 150.
150, yeah.
How many potions would
I
that
could make the
amount
full
print?
potion, like the full potion with all those charges, for 150. So if you want me to simplify it, I could do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that just so I can keep it straight.
All right. You got it.
And with that, Don John says, "Well, I'm ready to go when you are. If you guys have had your fill of this merchant's fair, we could set out."
DM,
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions for you before we head out.
What
if
are your
possible.
questions?
Little long and involved. Willow has done a lot of research.
Should we go to break for about 5 or 10 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea because we could talk about some shit.
Let's go to break. Let's go to break here. We'll come back and we'll set out to the mountains to coal mine.
Cool.
All right.
We're back from break, and we are all spent with the merchant's fair, and the party reconvenes with all this merriment going on around them, and Don John walks up to you and he says, "How do we do at the merchant's fair?"
As he says that, I burst through the door, holding a large quantity of items in my hand, and I run upstairs, and I say, "I'll be back."
Hey Nars. Nars.
I don't think I would have hurt you.
It's already gone.
Aw.
And I run up to my room.
I guess I'll catch up with him later. I made you guys something.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What did you make?
I made you guys necklaces, and I blessed them.
Really?
Uh-huh.
All
So,
of us?
uh-huh. So, for you, Thardin, I wire wrapped this piece of obsidian for you to wear. And obsidian is, it's said to be, it can form a shield against physical or psychic assaults. It promotes qualities of strength and clarity. And so I'm hoping this will help.
Thank you, lass. I like it.
She hands you a obsidian wrapped in wire on a chain as a pendant, and as long as you wear it, you may roll an advantage on any strength check or battle, attack that requires a strength.
That's only once until it can be recharged, right?
Correct.
Okay. And the recharging process is a little more tricky, but it...
For now, you have one advantage on any strength save or check or attack that requires strength.
And for you, Myrin, I have the Adventuring Stone. And it is called the Stone of Opportunity and is said to be the luckiest of all crystals. And I thought that would be good for you since you
Have
you
bad
do
luck?
you do so many tricky things, you climb so many steep things, and you fire and throw things, and you have to be precise, and so I figured a little luck would help out with
What
that.
does that stone look like exactly? Everyone knows obsidian is just volcanic glass, black,
Yeah.
deep black, shiny. But
Aventurine-
what does the adventurine look like?
Aventurine is kind of a it's a pale green stone. Like it's opaque. It's
Opaque.
it's solid. It's
She hands you this opaque green stone wrapped in silver wire hanging on a silver chain, and as long as you wear it, you were able to roll 1 advantage on any dex, weapon, or check.
and I have a moonstone that
Yes.
I've made for myself then.
Which will give her advantage on any 1 wisdom throw.
And that would classify as spellcasting, right?
If your
Okay.
spell is your spell is a wisdom spell.
Most of them are, I believe.
I believe that is correct. I believe the druid and the cleric both use the wisdom for their
Yep.
spells.
That sounds right. I think that's right.
Yeah.
And then I have a citrine stone for whenever Nars comes back, and that one's for kind of brain strengthening. It's really good for creativity and focus and all that good brain power stuff that he really needs to access when he's casting spells and putting things together. So I thought that'd be good for him.
When he comes down from his room, back outside, party and dungeon.
You guys probably hear like just things being thrown around in a room upstairs.
Nars must be working.
He's tossing his own root.
Maybe he had too much dwarven ale.
I don't think he can drink like the rest of us. I
Well, you'd be surprised.
I've seen him drink some down, but he drinks in moderation. Not like me.
I feel like I drink very often.
I don't either.
So what do they have for lunch on the menu here? I am kind of hungry.
You just ate it.
You just ate the
And-
good said dwarf. You don't have time to stay and hang around and eat all day. We could take a short break as we travel to the mine, but I think we should get going when your friend comes back down from the room. I'd
So
like to make it there by sunset.
I would come down shortly after I prepared my potion, and in my hand I would just have a swirling red potion, just in my palm of my hand, and I put it in my jacket, and then I walk down the stairs, and I'd just be smiling ear to ear.
What'd you make?
Oh, you'll see. You will definitely see.
I'm excited. Anyway, this necklace is for you. It's citrine.
Oh,
She hands you a
Thank you.
small citrine pendant wrapped with silver wire around a silver chain.
It's supposed to promote good thinking and stimulates the brain and creativity, all that good stuff that I know you really rely on within yourself when you're casting spells and putting things together.
As long as you wear it around your neck, you can have 1 advantage on any intelligence roll.
wow. Thank you.
Recharges once a day, right?
No recharge.
I put it around my
Recharge
neck.
is tricky, actually. I did say that we could recharge, but not once a day.
Yeah, it's a complex thing I'd have to put together to maintain, but in the meantime, it's
Oh, so it's like a one-time use.
The one-time use.
Okay.
but it's still pretty jewelry, and I can recharge.
Rechargeable
it,
one-time
but-
use, but we can't just recharge it at dawn. That would be silly.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some steps to walk through to recharge it, which I'll be looking into because it'd be a really cool thing to be able to buff for you guys and having tricky situations.
Thank you nonetheless.
Yeah.
I put the necklace on.
Don John looks a little forlorn at his unnecklaced neck.
Unnecklaced neck.
Unnecklaced neck.
Unnecklaced.
Quote that.
Wait, I think Don John wears some sort of teeth around his neck. If I remember.
He's got like
correctly.
outback teeth.
Yeah, he's
So he's got a necklaced neck.
He's got a necklace neck,
Okay,
but
all right.
there are no new necklaces on
Just
his necklace
saying.
neck.
Making sure
I'm
his
sorry.
neck is necklaced.
You didn't have one for Don John, did you, little girl?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm,
all right.
I'm.
That's
not-
all right. I'll make do with my alligator teeth.
Those can be blessed too.
Ah, man like you, Don John. Ah, you've done it all.
Thardin's starting to look up to him a little.
Don John Raskin, he walks tall like a giant, and you all see he carries himself with a lot of confidence. Like he actually thinks that he could take on an orc pack in between here
Oh,
and the
dear.
mine single-handedly, but also you can tell that he's really glad to have you guys along. And he's ready to go when you are. This Thardin, how'd you make out with the Silverhammer?
Yes, look. It's amazing. They
You
did
show
a
him
nice
the
job.
hammer that Isabel, the weaponsmith, had silvered for you, and Don John looks at it. This one's like the bakery. It looks just like the one in the bakery.
It looks just like it.
Yes,
Yes,
back to you.
and I pulled the sword out, and he had this for sale as well.
Very nice.
Now I'll be attacking a lot harder,
Looks like it.
stronger.
Shall we away?
I'm ready. I think
Don
the rest
Don
of
John
us-
goes over and grabs a fried cake and starts to munch on it as he leads you down the road that leads towards Tressender Manor. You pass a few homes, and you come almost to where the sleeping giant is down that road, and then you turn. Yeah, there it is. Sleeping giant, I think, is the one on the very northeast side, the big building. I think that's the sleeping giant. But anyway, he takes you a little bit north as you sort of climb up a hill. You're headed towards the northeasterly corner of the map, and everybody notices off in the distance there is a house, a structure that has been blackened as if by a fire, and actually there's a long radius of scorched earth around it where nothing seems to grow. And as he leads you out of town through the northeasterly part of Phandalin, there seems to be a forlorn attitude that comes over the group, and you guys leave town, and you make your way across some grass foothills. Let's see about this. Yes. Don't think this is the right view of the map. Can we go a little bit north? The Mountains Toe Gold Mine lies about 15 miles to the northeast. There it is. And it's pretty much open grassland and field that you see as you travel to the northeast.
Myrin is like, he's still kind of in shock a bit, having all of these new jeweled items. It just seems like foreign on his body, almost like he hasn't,
I've already forgotten what you got.
Ring of feather fall.
Ring of
falling.
Featherfall. Yeah, Ring of Featherfall.
And then the adventuring stone that Willow crafted. It just seems overwhelming.
We feel fancy! Yay!
Don John has noticed that you guys have acquired some new things, and you guys are, like, obviously the party is checking itself out right now. Don John's eyes straight at the horizon, but he also notices your new accoutrement, and looks like he approves. I wasn't able to afford any of it myself. I'm glad it went to good homes. Those magic items that Dragonborn fella had. I never killed a dragon before, but I once stole the egg of a wyvern. Made the best omelets you've ever had.
Sounds
I bet it
appetizing.
did.
As you travel along, a low ridge rises to your right, beyond which you see the Sword Mountains scrape the gray sky. It's an overcast day, and it looks like there may be some gathering storm clouds to the north. As you come closer to the ridge of mountains that rise beyond the foothills, you see something strewn across the rocky ground about 90 feet ahead. You're not on the Tribor Trail this time. You've only just left Phandalin to travel northeast as the crow flies to get to the mountain's toe. So it's just wild country, grassland and foothill. And as you come closer, Don John would reckon that still about 5 miles to go to the mine. And he does, in fact, have a map of the mine that we might throw up a few times as we navigate our way through it when we get inside. But yeah, as you come closer, looks to be about 6 dead orcs laying in the trail, laying in the pasture. And Don John says, "Ain't that something?"
Are there any indications on them that are really obvious in how they died?
Roll perception.
I'd be looking for that as well.
Roll perception.
15 plus
3 plus whatever.
yeah.
Willow explains to you, Myrin, as she comes within view. You guys come right up on these carcasses, and she points out how some of their fingers and toes are missing, and the further ends of their extremities are blackened, as if frostbitten. And you can tell, Willow, that they seem to have died of extreme cold.
Would it have been in this area, though, or would they have been dumped here?
Was it recent?
Where else?
Is maybe this is evidence that a creature caused this, maybe not something of nature.
Don John pipes in and says, "Looks like that white dragon took care of some trouble for us."
My thoughts precisely.
Huh. So what do you know about the dragon?
Oh, I hear stories about it. Same as what everybody else says. It seems like this thing is as big as an elephant, and it's got these white gleaming scales. I hear tell that you folks have seen it up close. You should tell me what you've seen.
Well, not up close.
I don't think it breathes fire by the looks of it.
It flew over us. It was about treetop level.
If the party will remember, back when we were at the Shrine of Savarus, it actually landed in the courtyard and
But
took off.
it wasn't
Went up.
close to
Big
us.
out
It wasn't
horse.
close enough for us to be detected by him.
It saw you.
Oh, it did?
It took
Yeah.
it took one of the horses.
I just didn't know it actually saw us.
It did, yeah. If I could clear that for you, it did lock eyes with.
Okay.
It saw the party, and it took off with its dinner.
but probably saw us as insignificant, like at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There's a happy smirk over Thardin's face as he looks over the dwarven bodies.
The orcish bodies.
Yes, the orcish. Ah, the dragon did its work for us. I agree with you, Don John.
You know those things? I hear they can breathe cold, extreme cold.
How recent does it look?
Roll a nature check.
Do 23.
They were killed less than 24 hours ago. You can deduce using your scientific mind.
Do you think that would mean it's still close by?
I'm not sure, but best to proceed with caution.
I think the alchemists have got the right idea.
Now, how far are we from these mountains again?
Oh, we're pretty close now. We can see. You see how that one rises up above the rest, and it's the tallest one in vision. We're headed there. We're about 5 miles out.
Oh, that should only take us maybe 45 minutes or an hour if we hustle.
Does the party hustle?
Well,
I mean, I can cover 5 miles if I hustle in 45 minutes.
I mean, are we needing to exhaust ourselves? I mean, yeah, is it?
Exhausting. It's just like walking at a normal pace.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna exhaust. When we get there, I'm gonna exhaust the butts of those miners. They haven't been producing no gold.
I just if we need to sustain ourselves, then yes, I say we do.
Don John pulls out his map that he has of the Mountain's Toe gold mine. As the party makes their way closer and closer to the site, he shows you this bit of hollowed out. It's actually looks like the toe portion of the mountain that you were traveling towards, and he tells you that it's really rich in gold ore, and he can give you the map for your perusal. Looks like there's 2 ways in. There's 2 gateways in. One to the east and one to the west. You see what I mean? Now that one over on the west, that's the main gate.
And assuming the other one is a back entrance.
It looks to me that way too, son.
I think that seems a bit more stealth.
What does the rest of the party say? Hello?
Yeah,
Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
I think we should definitely go in stealth.
Yeah.
Is it did we know we saw the dead orcs, but was there any knowledge that would lead us to believe that the miners might be dead, or was it just the orcs that is leading us to that?
From what you've seen of the orc behavior in these parts as of late, it looks as if it were just one of these roving band of ruffians like you've encountered in other sites, and they were just kind of moving from place to place, and they encountered this dragon, and it took them all out with its breath weapon.
As far as the mine goes, it's possible that we approach with caution, observe from afar at the main entrance, and if it seems that we need to go in covertly, then we either wait until we find... We don't know what we're going to approach. Maybe the miners are out there singing and dancing.
If they are, I bust their ass.
Well, at least they'll be safe while you're busting their ass.
Are you telling me you think there may be some foul business afoot inside the mine?
If we saw dead bodies approaching this, it's possible that the dragon or whatever possibly caused
You
this
think the dragon's inside there?
or attacked it.
You know, that could be possible. There were some problems with things related to the orcs and the dragons over in the dwarven mines also, and that hindered a lot of excavation projects they were working on out there.
And furthermore, with the flight path that we have seen this dragon in recent times, has it not all went in? Has he not been traveling in this general direction?
From what you've seen, anybody in this area could encounter the dragon in any day. You've seen.
I'm just saying the flight, when we've seen him fly off, have we not seen him fly in this area?
Yeah.
Towards this area?
You actually have.
Yeah,
So would we not be somewhat suspicious of that?
The party is right to assume
Well,
they might be.
we've seen his, we've seen where he lives, so we know that he is actually in this area. He's south of Coneyberry. So it's natural for him to fly around that area, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that at this rate, if he's taking people out on the trail, why would he not take people out at the mine?
Right.
Does it seem like it would be too tight for him to fit through?
I mean, or maybe just attack the mine from the outside, blow this cold through the mine. I'm not
I
certain.
mean,
DM, does it look like there's any I mean, Myrin can probably check this
Yeah,
out better.
it's
but
pretty big
is there any
tracks.
tracks?
Yeah,
Or-
after that, or was it just like fly out
Or did he just hit him from the air and he
or hit him
took
from
off?
the air? When we were there, are we at that position still, or are we getting
I
closer?
don't know. Are you?
Have we
We've
traveled?
been actually. I said we've been traveling, but back at that site, you didn't
Yes.
see any tracks. It looked to you as if that dragon swooped in, killed them, maybe ate one or two,
Flew
and
out.
flew away.
Okay.
I just think approaching with caution should be our goal, and
And one
if
of our
we-
party members knows that the Mountains Toe Gold Mine is not the dragon's lair,
well,
but it might be in there.
Could be in
It
there,
seems
though.
like a valid concern.
I just think that if we can just observe from afar before we just roll it up, that's all I would ask.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of make sure we're not rushing into something super dangerous.
And if
we are, then we can prepare.
Well, and then maybe we can make the decision then to go around to the east and approach from this smaller corridor that possibly will be a bit more silent.
I think
I
we should
wanted
do
to show you something else on this map that I was looking at. Do you see there on the northeastern? It looks like there's an inlet on the northeastern section. See
Maybe
that?
up.
Looks like it might be some ventilation shaft that leads into the network of tunnels there. That's not an entrance.
but the map seems to indicate stairs, so maybe that is a overlook.
Could be. All I'm saying is it's a third possible way in.
We should just be cautious as we round the northeast.
I was just gonna walk in through the front door and announce my presence, but if you think it might be prudent, maybe you're right. Maybe we should stealth this out.
We just saw, dead bodies. Shouldn't we advance with caution?
I think that's a wise move. And for a man like you, Don John, I don't think you'd be afraid of a white dragon.
I think the five of us could take that thing out.
I agree.
If we come upon that white dragon, we're all gonna stay and fight then. We got that understanding. You guys got my back, I got yours. If we encounter this white dragon, we'll fight it to the death.
I think somebody took the magic mushrooms.
I think I slipped some into my ale back at the tavern.
Oh,
The
wow.
group proceeds with caution.
Am I really the only one here not on mushrooms?
Isn't that how you normally feel?
You know, that's fair. That's very fair.
Am I the only one high here?
Willow, you should try some of these.
Oh, I have. They're
she's
marvelous.
She's tried though.
I was so
certainly are.
excited to bring them back to you guys.
I think I see more than one dragon. I think I see a few. I think I see a few of you too. And the rest of you.
My son, yay!
I think we go in with caution. Yes, that's the best move.
So, seeing as how our party is traveling northeast from the southwest, they will arrive on the southwest side of this mountain. And as they get there, as they come close to where Don has deduced the location of the site is, it looks just like, there's a bunch of bushes and cliff face there where it says that the entrance is supposed to be.
So maybe I would suggest maybe we just move, if we can round the path, at least just spotting the entrance and seeing what it looks like. That's what I would like to suggest.
Very well. The party, as the party comes closer, they sort of skirt the cliff face that is this mountain's toe, and you can see this gigantic mountain. Looks like you're looking up at a giant from its foot, and hidden among the bushes, a tunnel. You see a tunnel that burrows into the foot of this soaring snow-capped mountain. Above the mouth of that tunnel is a little wooden plank, and it reads the words "Mountain Toe," which are carved into it in color. So you've found the western entrance here. Do we keep going? Do we come in this one?
Can I make like a check to determine what the entrance might be looking like at this time?
Yeah. Roll perception.
18 plus 2.
It looks like the mouth of a cave. You can't see any light coming out of it. We're in the afternoon hours. So it just looks like a dark mouth of a cave.
Okay, so no threat detected. I would pass that along to the party and say...
And this is the western entrance, just to
This
clarify.
is the western entrance.
Like the main entrance.
Mhm.
Yes.
Did we want to check out that other kind of lesser known entrance?
Can we access that from here?
I say we go around no matter what and see what we find.
I like Nars's idea. If we can get a scope of the area, then we'll have a better idea of what we're dealing with and everything else. And honestly, I'd much rather be attacked like out here where there's space to run than get trapped in this damn tunnels.
Well, I suppose this is your gig, and you are the ones escorting me, so I will follow you guys. We'll follow this cliff face around, right? We'll see if we can get eyes on the eastern entrance.
Yes, if we can take them by surprise, it'll be... Things
party-
will play out in our favor.
The party makes its way around this cliff face, so these big bluffs are rising up before you very beautifully. Sparse with trees, but when you come and round the peak, the northern peak of this outcrop, you see a grove of trees as you start to pass southwest towards this eastern entrance where it looks like it is on the map. And you walk through this small grove of trees, and you notice some Karens, and they're actually on this map. Believe it or not, they're not supposed to be on this map, but there they are. They're in the northeast section, and you see these piles of rocks, and each one has a pickaxe at its head.
Do they appear to be burials?
Yes, they do.
I
Seem-
turned it down, John. I just look at him.
Don looks back at you. He seems very puzzled.
Seems my caution was to be proven correct.
Don, what is the exact wording of what happened? They just stopped responding, or?
They stopped sending their shipments. These miners, they typically twice a month they will caravan all of their findings for that 10-day and a half, and they will charter it back towards Neverwinter. That hasn't been happening in the last 2, so I'm here to find out why. This looks to be like some of the crew is experiencing a bit of a problem staying alive.
Can we see the overhead lookout?
Yes, you look up from this ring of Karens, and you can see about 20 feet up the cliff. There's an opening.
I pull out my potion of flying that I made this morning. I drink it, and I fly up the 20 feet. And I land, and I look in the hallway.
Well, that was quick.
So-
I guess Myrin's watching him up there, kind of like seeing
What's up there, buddy?
what's up there.
As soon as God talks to me, I'll know.
Well, God's gonna do some talking soon.
Here's God to tell you what's going on. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. You fly. You see your companion fly effortlessly up to this mouth opening up above, and he lands. When you get up there, Nars, you see a dark passageway leading into the mountain.
Okay.
You can see about 10 feet into it, and it looks barren.
Pocket watch comes out, and I just turn that slight corner, and I send my lights forward a little bit.
Yeah, it's sort of an S-shaped passage. So
Is
you're
it still like the passageway?
you're looking into this S-shaped passage. What are you walking about 15 feet in to peek around the corner? You see that stair
in the very dim light of your dancing lights, and you see a yellow beast clinging to the ceiling. It looks like a big yellow, gross caterpillar-looking thing. I think we might have a graphic.
If you could pull out the map too when you have a chance. Okay.
That thing, you see it sort of looks like it's a little bit.
Oh, heavens.
It's a little bit dormant. Its eyes are closed. It does not notice the dim light from the dancing lights. This thing is clinging to the ceiling about. It's right where the corridor starts to curve back to the west.
Okay, I close my pocket watch, turn off the lights, and then I fly back down and I tell them what I saw.
Does that sound like anything Willow might recognize?
Roll a nature investigation. See if you know what it is.
16 plus 4.
So you see the mustachioed human float down, flying down to the ground from up above, and he starts to describe this yellowish caterpillar-like giant bug. And Willow pipes in. She knows that it's a carrion crawler.
So, that's the tea, boys.
She knows that they're omnivorous, and she knows that they. That's all she knows. She knows they're omnivorous and that they will eat people.
Oh,
Hmm.
they're hungry?
Dog's
She
eye-
knows one other thing.
Oh.
That they're sick raves.
She knows that it's layering to try to attack whatever comes within its reach, but it's not going to hunt you through the mines. If you leave it undisturbed, it will just sit there.
Docile until provoked.
Do we think it's possibly the reason of these dead miners?
Don John says that I don't think those beasts have a cold breath. Those dead miners, they might be.
What indication do we have that the miners were stricken by this cold spell?
Shit, boy, short of exhuming one of those bodies, I think we had to best go inside and ask their fellow crew members. There should be about 13, 15 more of them somewhere.
So there is more than the burial sites.
Yeah, there should be a larger crew than this. There's 10. There's 10 bodies in the ring. There's
Okay.
10 graves in the ring.
Okay.
I say we go around to the back entrance if we can. Let's see. Prefer to avoid the creature on the wall if we can.
Yeah, that, how narrow is that passageway? Would we be able to avoid it?
Looks like it's about what passageway?
The one that the caterpillar was in.
The carrion crawler is in a passageway that looks to be about 5 feet in diameter, give or take.
Yeah, we'd be fighting it head on.
Cramped. Yeah.
Thardin pulls out his holy symbol, and he walks in a semicircle where all the bodies are buried. And he takes a knee, and he flips his sword around so the point is in the ground. Paladin! And he puts his hammer out as well in front of him. Paladin, bless these souls!
that died here. Give them a better afterlife than they had in this life.
Point of inspiration
Oh,
to the dwarf.
Ooh, cool. And I put my sword away and my hammer away. Actually, no. I keep them out because we're going in at some point.
Yeah.
Keep one of them out.
I would start floating towards the back entrance.
he's still floating.
Okay, so we're heading around.
We gotta use this potion up.
Well, you could transport us all up, couldn't you?
I think it might be better to go on the back because I just don't think it's smart to have you guys climb a rope and possibly get hurt.
Okay.
Besides, we'd be confronting one of those creatures head on, and if we can at all avoid confrontation, that may be best until the absolute last minute.
I agree.
No need to fight anything we don't have to.
So the party moves in a southerly direction, still skirting the cliff, and it's just about 50 or 60 feet south of that ring of cairns. You come across a very narrow entrance, which is the back way in, and we all enter it. There's not enough room for us to walk two abreast. It will have to be a single filed line.
I think a person with dark vision should go out and scout ahead.
I'm fine doing so.
Scout in, as in you go in alone?
Or ahead in the line.
Like 10 or 15 feet or something.
Yeah.
10 or 15 feet ahead of the rest of the party?
Mhm.
Yep, I'll
Okay.
be next, and I'll be next in line.
I'll go after Thardin.
Everybody lines up and takes their turn entering the eastern mouth of this mine, and we snake around a few curves, and looks like we go up a little ways in a step fashion. Yeah, we curve back around to the east, and Myrin is ahead. When Myrin gets to the opening of this first room, he can see inside of it with his dark vision. He can see 5 dwarves. They look to be wearing miners' clothes, and there's some gear with them, and they look to be hungry and a little bit exhausted.
I'll
I'd
start.
move back and tell Thardin that, and probably Willow right behind him.
I'll pull some rations out of my bag for them as we get closer.
Are we going to? I mean,
Might be best to have Donjon and Thardin going.
Yeah. Where's Donjon at in all of this?
Don John's been bringing up the rear.
Okay.
Did you tell him what you saw?
We'd have to pass it along, but
Yeah.
you
Like
know,
a game of telephone?
yeah.
What? 5 miners? And he pushes past everybody
Mhm.
and strides right ahead of the group and strides right into that room, leaving you guys in the tunnel.
And Thardin follows him. Right in. Hearing that it's dwarven kin.
The rest of you hear Don John and Thardin speaking in Dwarvish to these guys.
Yeah, I ask him what happened here.
Well, these rats moved in, lad.
It's the eldest one and speaks for the group. The other one, they're all very tired and hungry, and he sees that Willow's got some rations.
Do you mind if we have a little bit of that food that dark elf has there? Very hungry. We've had this rat problem here, you see.
Yeah, help yourself to. She's offering the food. She's very accommodating. Have some food. Sit
Yeah,
for a
these are
minute.
for them.
Tell me now, you're saying
take the
rats.
They take the food gladly, and the spokesperson he starts handing out some of the rations to his other guys, and he tells you more about the rat problem. There's these filthy rats. They've infested the whole mine. So glad to see a paladin come to clear them all out.
What about the dead bodies outside? What happened to them?
Killed by the rats.
Oh, by the way, Willow knows Dwarvish.
Then you can understand everything that they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Lad, my friend over here, he took a look on the other side, and there's a big creature there, like some type of crawler.
Aye, the carrion crawler. Best you not go through that door, mate. If you know what I mean, lad.
It didn't happen to kill any of the dwarves, did it? Again?
Well, it did eat some of us.
Okay, what else can you tell us about this?
It ate Thorin and Blorin and Corin.
What else can you tell us besides rats? Is there anything else in here we should know?
Well, they're not just any rats, lads. They're were-rats.
Hey, DM, what does this room look like that we're in?
This room looks like it's hewn out of the living rock. There is lanterns up above. It's just an oblong rock-hewn room, and there are little veins of gold that you can see sparkling in the rock walls of the pure ore. It's sparkling in the lantern.
And there's a door that they have barred.
Yes. Wait a second. Yes, there is a door that leads into these areas to the south. And they have two doors heading west that they have barred them. So they've got these three rooms as sort of their retreat, they tell you. They've cordoned off to the intruders and the rest of the mine from those two doors leading west.
How many of those rats did you see?
Oh, there's got to be a dozen of them. Well, we couldn't be too sure. There's at least a dozen rats. Whether or not they're all were-rats, we kind of can't tell. They come and go, they scurry around, and they change form. We don't know exactly, but there's at least a dozen of the rat-like creatures. We don't know how many of them. We don't know how many of them have the lycanthropy.
We're here to help.
We're so glad you're here, lad.
How many of them have lycanthropy?
Sorry, son.
Are any of you infected?
None of us have the lycanthropy.
Looking over them, are they being honest?
Insight check. I got it.
Let's see here. Insight. It's gonna be a 10.
You feel like they're being sincere.
We saw that they were like malnourished. Is Don John piping into the issues with the mine?
Don John actually turns to the group at this point and says, "It looks like we've solved the issue, guys. There's varmints in the mine."
And they're gonna clear it out.
He implores you to help him eradicate the vomits, as he's started taking to call them. Your mission is just to get him here safe, and he will definitely sign off on that and send you on your way. But he
just wants to be frank with y'all. I need your help here. I know it's not part of the mission and I can't afford to pay you, but help me eradicate them vomits and you'll be the true heroes of Fandolin.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
Aye.
I do have a quick question, DM.
Yes.
What kind of metal were the necklaces made out of? What was the what kind of metal was
Your
the
gifts.
Mm-hmm.
I-
And the necklaces.
I had
the
said they
chains
were
also.
silver,
Radical.
silver chain and silver wire.
So, lycanthropes are sensitive to silver, right?
So it would seem from the lore that you've heard about them.
All right.
You metagamer. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to take off my
Unacceptable.
necklace and ask the two dwarves we ran into to touch it so I can bless them. And all they have to do is touch it.
What's that?
The dwarves we found,
Yeah.
I'll just ask them if they'll touch my necklace because I'll try to bless them with it.
Okay.
All they have to do is touch it.
They touch the necklace.
All right, and I say some pretty flowery language, and it's just kind of seeing if either of them react to the silver. It's kind of hocus pocus mumbo jumbo, but just trying to see if they react to it.
They think it's very fine craftsmanship.
And neither of them react to it when they touch it?
Nope.
Okay, I'll put the necklace back on. Well, hopefully the rations and that healed you guys.
They're feeling much better, but they don't feel like they can take on in the were-rats. And they're commoners, you know, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
much help to you.
Well, I guess we are tasked with clearing this out.
I say we do it. Let's kill them all.
I don't think that. I don't know. Rats don't seem that dangerous. Even if they are were-rats.
Let's not underestimate them. We still want to be on guard.
A fair amount of confidence and caution.
I see the DM snickering. We're fucked.
Well, I'm ready to jump into it next week and hammer fist some motherfuckers if you guys are.
Sounds good.
What a great session.
We gotta